What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Keepin' It Comic, and today we are diving into Absolute Batman issue number 13. Now, this starts off where we get to see more of Bruce and Selina Kyle's intimate relationship, where she's like, I didn't know you had that in you, Wayne. Back there with Falcone, I'm impressed. And he says, if the rules aren't fair, right, Kyle? And she says, hey, look at me. This is how Waylon wins, how we all win. And I'll get more into what this is about later on, but this instantly jumps back into where we left off with the last issue, where Selina had just knocked out Alfred. Wayne's like, why are you here, Selina? She's like, look at us. Our ears match. I'm here because your mother called me. He's pissed. He's like, I'll ask one more time. She responds, she did actually. But come on, Bruce. You've been missing for months. I was worried, all right? I came to help. He says, I don't need your help. She says, clearly. I mean, you've got such a superstar team already. Alfred's like, I've read about you, the Catwoman. What you pulled in Penang. No loyalty. No. And she tightens that tail around his neck and says, all right, look, if I'm not wanted, what's it gonna be? And as Alfred's like, don't trust her, kid. You don't want. Batman interrupts. Enough, Pennyworth. I don't need advice. She's leaving right effing now. Oh, and she left all right. And so did Bruce. And I'm not gonna get into what they did. But the next morning, she's looking at his back and she's like, Bruce, what did they do to you? And he's like, is that really what you want to talk about? She says, no. He says, so your helmet. It looks a lot like the gear Black Mass uses. And I'm glad I'm not the only one that was thinking this. And she says, is that really what you want to talk about, Bruce? And he's like, nah. You want to go on a date? And their idea of a date is Batman and Catwoman on the move. And Batman's like, they're called the Red Hood. They're an outlaw collective. Hacking. Disruption. We had a loose alliance. And she's like, and this is their cool hangout? So where are they? And someone says, you're not effing welcome. Stand down. Wasn't that your order to us? But we don't take orders from anyone, do we? Batman's like, we're not leaving until we speak to your leader. And this person says, have it your way then. Get him. And I just want to stop for a second and say, I really appreciate that there is a mob of Red Hoods who actually wear red hoods, because we don't usually get this. So needless to say, Batman jumps in the air and she's like, I like this date. And I'm pretty sure from the view Batman's getting, he likes the date too. But anyway, one of the Red Hoods is like, kill you, I guess we'll say female dog so we don't get banned on YouTube. And she's like, rude. And she loads her friggin' tail into her gun. Like, yo, this is crazy. Batman's like, what are you doing? They're just kids. She goes, you know I hate kids. And you can just see Batman looking all clueless. And she's like, take it easy, just a cat nap. And you can see they're just tranquilizers. But this guy above them has a rocket launcher. And Batman's like, almighty push. Okay, wait, wrong thing. He's like, look out. And sends her flying. This dude uses his serum and knocks over the whole friggin' Ferris wheel with this guy on top of it. And can I just say, Batman looks friggin' crazy. Thighs are busting through his suit. Like, this is crazy. And Selina's like, what the hell was that? And he's like, get away from me now. One of the Red Hoods is like, holy, look at him. He's one of them. Another says, boss was right. They are making monsters. Selina's like, Bruce, listen to my voice. I'm right here. You need to calm down, okay? Get it under control. Another Red Hood says, now's your chance and Bruce says, wait, I told you stand down because the truth is, they almost broke me in a place called Arc M, where they do make monsters, abominations, like a man called Bane. But they didn't break me. And now I'm going to destroy him. And not just him, his bosses, Arc M. I'm going to burn it all to the effing ground. But I need your help. And as one of the other Red Hoods says, you're the abomination, man. Get him. Another yells, hold it. I was never sure about you. I'm still not. But If you're really talking about burning down Arkham, now you're speaking my damn language. Name's Harley Quinn, leader of the Red Hood. So what's the plan? And yo, I am so amped to see absolute Harley Quinn. I wasn't sure if we was gonna get her with the Joker having his whole other story, but seeing her as the leader of the Red Hood is actually kind of cool. But then we cut over to Arkham with Bane, and he's getting another procedure done where one of the doctors says, "Good news, we've managed to push your system even further. As of this moment, you're officially at maximum infusion. We never imagined a human body could reach these levels. If I may say so, it's a real inspiration working with you, Bane. You're a damn unicorn." Bane says, "Soon you'll have my replacement, and he'll have his new Bane. Then I'll finally go home." The doctor says, "Forgive me for asking, but you really believe he'll let you go?" And Bane responds, "He has to. I've given him everything. Any moment now, Batman will give in, and my work will be over." And just then, someone says, "Doctor, you're going to want to see this." And if you look behind, you can see Batman on a screen. And a reporter says, "Reports that a wanted criminal is hijacking our newsfeed. We have a direct quote from Mayor Hill. He says, 'My fellow Gothamites, I implore you not to listen to a word this mass lunatic.'" And Batman's like, "Shut up. People of Gotham, our city is under attack, not by criminals or outlaws, but by its leaders. Leaders who've sold Gotham out to line their own pockets. They've sold our safety, our freedoms. There's nothing they won't sell. They've even sold the ground beneath our feet, where right now, they're growing actual monsters. Horrors, too terrible to imagine. I tried to show you with Black Mask, but I made the mistake of relying on networks. Not anymore. This time, I'll show you myself, because I'm going to drag one of these monsters out into the light for all of you to see. And then, I'm going to beat his ass. I'm talking about you, Bane. You little beep. I know you're listening. Tomorrow, midnight, the old Veterans Arena. You and me alone. You win, I'll go back to Arkham and become whatever you want. But you won't win. And you, people of Gotham, you get to watch. And just in case any of you were wondering who I am, I'm Batman." And we get a flashback of this arena. This is where Wayland was gonna have his big fight at. And Bruce is talking to him. And he's like, "All the way to the 7th. The end of the 7th away. You last right up to the bell. That's much further than anyone has you going. Every single site has you going down by the 2nd, maybe the 3rd. This way, you go out with dignity and you make enough cash to open the gym. You win." And Wayland's like, "Do you know why I hired you to train me, Bruce? I mean, skill-wise, you're mediocre at best. I hired you because you're my best friend. Guys like Bibbo, Falcone, they're running our city. So no, I don't want to cut a deal with them. I want to beat them. Here, in this ring, with someone in my corner who believes in me, man. Believes in all of it. And what we've been through, you, me, the odds we've overcome, I thought you were that person, but I guess I was wrong. So you, Bruce Wayne, are fired." And Bruce is like, "Wait," and he's like, "No, I'm going past the 7th. I'm going to win the whole thing. Now go, get out of here. I have a fight to get ready for." And I'm so curious to know what happened with this. I hope we get to learn if he won that fight or if he still took that deal anyway. But back at the base, Selina's like, "There's not much around the vet to use to your advantage." And Bruce is like, "No, it's isolated, run down. But that's the idea. Just me and him, last man standing." She says, "I get it. I just need you to promise me one thing." He says, "And what's that?" She responds, "Don't use the Venom, Bruce. It's what they want, and it's not worth it. I've seen what it does to people." He says, "What it does to people?" Say, "When I used it, I could see every move the Red Hood kids were going to make. I was 10 steps ahead, 50 steps. I just have to learn to control it. But Venom is the only way I can win." She says, "It's not the only way. You have people who can help. I can help." And he says, "You haven't seen him. What he can do." She responds, "But I have. And they're my friends too, Bruce. Even when I'm not here, I want to take this Bane down as badly as you do, but not like this. He says, if the rules aren't fair, stop playing by them. Sound familiar? She says, maybe I was wrong. He says, easy to say now. Look at your helmet, your gear. Don't tell me you got where you are by playing clean. And I'm glad he called her out on that, because it's clear to tell where she got that helmet from. But needless to say, she goes, no, I didn't. But you're better than this. You always were. He says, not anymore. I'm going to friggin' wreck him, and I'm using the Venom. If you can't handle it, then maybe you should go. Again. She says, maybe I should. Take care of yourself, Wayne. And I love how she's leaving, and these two are still going at it. Alfred's like, don't let the door hit you. But I think there's a bigger plan coming down, because this is where things get interesting. Alfred's like, I'd ask if you're all right, but I know that answer already. Fine. And Batman's like, I am fine. And he says, good. See, this is the part I was telling you about, kid. The part where you have to push through the tunnel. You stop, you even slow down, you'll get ground up. So let go of what you were. That man, soft, weak. Bury him deep in the mud and become what you need to be, what you were meant to be, and rise as the monster. Because this is war, and there are no rules except winning. And we see none other than Killer Croc. And I gotta say, this was a great one. I really love the fact that we got to dive a little deeper between Bruce and Selina. The Red Hood. I love the fact that we got to see absolute Harley Quinn, and she's getting her own origin story, which I think is cool. You know, something not tied to the Joker for once. But I'm loving this more savage Batman. I mean, him on the Venom was cool. Him hijacking the news station, telling him to shut up and, you know, saying, look, the whole world needs to just see what's about to happen with me and Bane. I can't wait for this fight. Because you got Bruce trying to fight for revenge and protecting Gotham. And you got Bane who's trying to basically get out of whatever deal he ultimately made with Joker. And we still don't know what that deal truly was. We only know glimpses of it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think they're about to get Killer Croc to come up with some plan to jump Bane? Or is Bruce about to do this on his own? And hey, if you've been rocking with these breakdowns, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and check out keepinitcomic.com. It's the best way to support the channel. Plus, we just dropped some new merch you don't want to miss. And don't forget to hype this video. We are beyond grateful for all of you who have been trying the new YouTube feature and hyping it. It really pushes our video to the algorithm even further than the likes and comments. So thank you for all of you who have been doing this and helping the channel. And as always, thanks for kicking it with Keepin' It Comic. I'll catch y'all on the next one.